I'd like to present to you somebody that some of you have known for a long time. His name is Mark Clark, and Mark has been, grew up in this church, and now Mark is going to be one of the 5 officers of the National United Church of Christ. Cool. So someone from our church is now going to be holding national office, and it's a really exciting thing. It's an honor for us to have been able to have raised him. It's also an honor for us to have somebody who is there representing us and the kinds of things that we believe in and do. So I'm going to ask Mark to come forward. He wanted to say thank you to you.
Everything I learned, I needed to know, I learned in kindergarten. Is that the? Yeah. I don't remember kindergarten very well, but I like to think that pretty much everything I needed to learn, I learned here at First Congregational Church. So, like, for instance, this woman in greenback here, Barbie Whiteman, and my friend Sue Hodge Parker, I've known since, well, you say that we never met. She said that we never met because we were in the nurseries together. Actually, I think I came over here when I was 1, so maybe not in the crib, but certainly in the nursery. So I learned here the wonderful power of long-time friendship. So right here at this lectern, I learned how to talk loud enough so that the person back in that corner could hear me, because I started doing this so long ago we didn't have microphones. and right back here, I learned a couple of really important things. I learned from Mr. Whitney the importance of having your socks match your pants. My friend Dick Rust loved to acolyte, and he would come in with black shoes, white socks, and black pants. That didn't really sit well with Bob Whitney's thoughts of how you were supposed to live. But the more important lesson, and the one that Mr. Whitney and I talked to me so much about, was the need for me to take antihistamines so that I could sit back there with my mouth shut. So I took an antihistamine before I came up here, because that's what Mr. Whitney taught me. And of course, I learned from the wonderful people here in this church. And Marion Gundry is, I think, has to be the representative of all of my Sunday school teachers and youth group advisors, because Marion was 6th grade, right? Or was it 4th? I think it was 6th. 5th grade. Marion used to wrap us up in towels and blankets and tell me and my colleagues, my sisters and brothers, wonderful stories of the Bible. So I learned of the love of God. I learned of the love we have for each other and how important it is for raising people up. There's one thing I still ponder about. I remember having been brought in this sanctuary. Actually, I think it probably was the shorter version of this sanctuary, because I think it used to end here when we first came. But that window was still in it, and I think we were brought in here and we sort of were told to kneel down and look up at that window and then ask if we could see it with our eyes closed. And I think there was supposed to be some mystical nature about that. But frankly, I didn't. I'm still trying to figure out, because we all said yes. Actually, there's a great, if you don't go to the Still Speaking devotionals, go today and see what Quinn Caldwell wrote about the Trinity. It's sort of related to that a little. But I am so honored and blessed to have been selected by the search committee and affirmed. By the way, Luther Holland Jr., that guy in pink right there, was on the search committee that selected me to be the nominee, and for that I am very grateful. the Executive Council of the General Synod has affirmed me as their candidate. Steve said I'm going to be. Well, I have to be called by election of the General Synod. I have to deliver a speech. You know, it started here. I have to talk to over pretty close to 3,000 people, or however many of them get up and go in the meeting hall at 8:40 Monday morning on July 4th when I deliver my speech. And then later that afternoon, the elections will take place. Now, there's no one running against me. But there's a yes and a no on the button. I will endeavor so strongly not to embarrass you all. So I did want to come and say thank you for the love and support that I've experienced here since I was one. And I think I'll be back in a couple of weeks, assuming all goes as we hope it will, on July 4th. Say a prayer for me and for Jim Moose, who's the candidate for election to be the executive minister for Wider Church Missions and Wider Church Ministries, and Jay Bennett Guest, who is the candidate for election to be the executive minister for local church ministries. The three of us, plus our beloved president and general minister, Joffrey Black, and our executive minister for Justice and Witness Ministries, Linda Jaramillo, will make up the Collegium of Officers, and collectively we provide leadership to the national setting of the United Church of Christ. So again, thank you so much. I'll appreciate your prayers and support next Monday, and hopefully I'll see a few of you tonight.